you should never use space heaters on extension cords. Why should we not use space heaters on extension cords?
A couple reasons for this. Extension cords, most common extension cords are usually between a 16 and a 14 gauge wire. That's the wire that is running inside that sheathing of the extension cord. The length of the extension cord also plays a role into that. The way an extension cord connects to electricity plays a role into that. The way an extension cord plugs into a wall outlet, for example, it's a friction fit, and you want that fit to be tight. When you plug a plug of an extension cord, or anything for that matter, when you plug it in, you want that tight.
Yeah.
Well, so if you're using a space heater, space heaters are a high consumption appliance.
Yeah.
They really require a good solid electrical system to run safely.
Yeah.
When you take an extension cord and say most common extension cords for homes are about 16 gauge. Yeah. So it's a light duty extension cord, and they're 25 to 50 feet is what most people have. And a lot of people have a 100-foot 14 gauge cord in there, and they'll plug that into the wall, which again is just a friction fit. I use the word friction fit because it's important to recognize that electrical energy creates heat when you have a poor or not great electrical connection. So you have a heating element with a 1500 watt heating element. They draw, on average, I would say probably 10 to 12 amps or somewhere around there, depending on what setting you have them on. They can draw, up to 15 amps depending on your heater, and if you have it on medium, high, or low. That's a lot of juice to be running through an extension cord. You're in a sense kind of choking down the thoroughfare to get the electricity from the receptacle to the heater, creating resistance. Resistance causes heat. Again, heat is electrical's enemy. It's your home's enemy. It's a hazard. Yeah. So not only do you have the friction connection at the wall plug, you also have the same connection where the heater plugs into the other end of the cord. Yeah. Unfortunately, extension cords get used regularly for a lot of stuff. We all have them in our garage. You plug them in, they're worn out. They've been used a lot. A lot of plugs in homes, older homes, could be worn out as well. Yeah. That friction fit can be a little loose as well. So all of those things combined create a lot of potential hazards, a lot of potential concerns. Hence, that comes from the fire department. The fire department is the one that says, do not use extension cords for permanent loads. Use the right size extension cord for the right load that you're using. Because they see it. They see a lot of houses burnt down by the use of extension cords. Done properly, extension cords are a very valuable tool to have at our house. Make sure they're in good condition. Make sure the ends are in good condition. Make sure all of the prongs are healthy, whether it be the receiving side of an extension cord. Make sure it's tight for what you're plugging into it. Make sure the plug that you're plugging into the wall, if it's a 3-wire plug, make sure the ground is on there. You see a lot of people in older homes who don't have 3-wire grounded homes. They buy an extension cord, and the first thing they do is they cut off the ground so it'll fit in their wall. Yeah. Never do that. Buy the best extension cord you could find. I don't recommend anyone really purchasing 100-foot extension cords because I think they're unnecessary. I think 50 foot's plenty for what most people are doing. If you do have to plug something in, like say Christmas lights today, and you have a 100-foot extension cord, you're going from the house out to your fence and you're running lights on there, just be thoughtful of how many lights you're running on there. When lights were not LED, it was a problem, and we saw a lot of fires. Because we had a heavy loads. Those incandescent Christmas lights would add up a lot of energy, causing the undersized extension cord and the poor connections to cause fires. Back when I started in the industry, we worked with insurance companies that did fire restoration. So we did a lot of walks in homes that were burnt. Now, a lot of them were electrical fires, and there was a lot of them caused by extension cords. The consensus was pretty much majority. I would say 80% of them were around the holidays, and a lot of those extension cords were being used for heaters or decorations for Christmas decorations like lighting. So people would take, to get electricity to their Christmas lights, they would take a light bulb out of a lamp, like a porch lamp, which is a 15 amp lighting circuit. They would screw in an adapter to plug an extension cord in. So you have connections there that could be not so great. Then they would staple or run or drape their extension cord under the eave, plug in several extension cords, plug strips and so forth, and then leave them running on forever, and all those little connections would start causing a lot of heat. So I would say I probably have seen a half a dozen homes back in those times that were caused by eve fires because of extension cords. You have to be mindful when you're buying extension cords. Very valuable tool. We should all have them in our house. They're very useful. Just knowing when to use them safely.
Any of our viewers have any questions, you can always give the good dudes at Gubruds a call. We're here and happy to help.
That's what we're here for.